welcome back to my channel. I am finally back, you guys. OMG, it has been a week. So anyways, in this video, we are going to be doing the flawless face routine. So pretty much all of my tips, tricks, hacks, all of that to create a flawless face. I will be giving you guys a lot of insight. So if that is something that you guys are interested in seeing, then please keep on watching. So before we go ahead and get started, I just wanted you guys to subscribe if you have not subscribed already, and I am going to do another giveaway in this video. I figured that every single video I might as well do a giveaway, and I'm going to do 3 winners also. So I will show you guys the prizes and then tell you guys obviously what you need to do, which some of you guys might already know if you watched the other videos. So it's kind of hard to do a giveaway as far as like giving away like foundations and things like that, just because skin tones, like either you guys won't have a profile picture or it's kind of hard to match skin tones and everything like that. So I decided to go with more of like skin care. So the first winner will win a Honey Do Me Up primer from NYX, also a number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Serum, and a face mask. So I really love this. When I worked at Walgreens, I sold this to everyone, older women, middle-aged women, anything like that. And obviously, well, if you don't know, serums are used after your after cleansing, before your moisturizer. So you want to apply your serum like right in between, so that way it penetrates deeper into the skin. So that is what the first winner is going to win, and then the second winner is going to win another serum, or actually this is a moisturizer. This is a SkinCeuticals Physical Matte UV Defense Moisturizer. So it has sunscreen SPF 50 in it, and also a Benefit Professional. This is like the travel size, mini size or whatever, and then another face mask. And then the last winner is going to win a Dr. Brandt's serum. I've never tried this one, but Dr. Brandt's is amazing. I use a lot of their products. This one is the 2% retinol complexion or complex serum, so it's for nighttime. And then the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizer Primer, and then a Stay Gorgeous face mask. So each person will win a primer, a skin product, and also a face primer. So, or mask. Did I say face primer twice? Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video. I will mention later on some point in this video what you guys need to do. Y'all already know. Keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so the first and foremost, the absolute must is something that you need to do is priming your skin. So I usually, when I'm working with clients, I'll usually ask what their skin type is. There's oily, combo, normal, and dry. So there's 4 different skin tones, and what I mean by combo is either they're oily and dry, or they're oily and normal, or they're oily all over, I mean, just a combination of the 4. It can be like, sometimes I'm dry out here and oily in the T-zone, and that's usually how it is, or normal out here and oily in the T-zone. I'm not oily everywhere, and that's kind of how it is for other people. So you want to find a primer that fits your skincare needs, and you can go in with multiple primers, you guys. You don't have to stick to one specific primer. So for me, I personally like a blurring primer because I have really big pores right here in the cheek area and then right in between the brows. But I'm also oily, so sometimes I'll take a mattifying primer like the Becca Ever Matte or the Sasha Cosmetics Matte Primer. I'll put that right on my nose and right by my eyebrows, and then I'll use a Cover FX or a Dr. Brandt Pores No More or the Benefit Professional right in the cheek area. So kind of, you know, you can kind of use 2 different primers, 3 primers if you want, but I usually don't prime the outer perimeter because when I apply my moisturizer, that kind of helps with that. So the primer that I am going to go in with is the Cover FX Blurring Primer. I recently got this one out of my BoxyCharm box, and I was blown away because this primer is amazing. So like I mentioned, I put it into the cheek area and then into the center of my forehead. So this primer has that kind of like putty consistency where it's kind of thicker and it like pats into the pores. So another tip that I want to tell you guys, if you have really large pores, you want to apply that primer and pat it into the pores. as opposed to swiping. Like I swipe in between my brows because it's kind of hard to pat, but anywhere else I'll kind of swipe, but in the cheek area I'll pat it and push it in, so it's actually going into those pores. Because what pores are, especially if you have like enlarged pores, are pretty much like, I don't want to say like small craters. That's kind of what it is. It's kind of like a small crater. So I push it into that, and then if I need more, I'll go in with more and everything like that. So after we've primed, we want to go in with a foundation. So also a tip, one little tip, let me just throw in right now. If you guys are very, 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 very oily, I would suggest going in with, say, like a translucent setting powder and setting your face so that way that oil won't break through. If you guys haven't watched that video, I believe it's like powder before foundation, or how to keep myself matte all summer, or something along those lines. But I take a setting powder with a powder brush and just pat that into wherever I'm oily. So on my brows, in between my forehead, all of that, I pat it all in those areas, and then go in with foundation over the top, and that just adds an extra layer of protection. So an extra layer for that oil to kind of have to break through. It really, really, really helps you guys, especially if you're very, 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 very oily. I will list that video down below. Make sure you check that video out if you are extremely oily. So for foundation, I base my foundations on coverage because, like I mentioned, I prime according to my skin type, and then I'll apply a powder if I feel like the foundation that I'm going to go in with is extremely oily. But I apply foundation based on the coverage because your girl doesn't have a completely flawless skin, and my skin has gotten so good over the last few years, but I still like that full coverage. Full coverage glam right here. So I'm gonna go in with the Cover FX Power Play foundations. I mix the shade N90 with N80 because N90 is a little bit too dark, too red, and N80 is a little too light. So I just mix them both, and that kind of gives me a good shade. I did recently buy the correct shade for the Fenty foundation, and I like that foundation, but I prefer the Cover FX over that one because that one's like really, really, really red, and I hate having extremely red foundations. That's just one of my like pet peeves. This one I might actually have to darken a little bit. It's a little light. So when going in with foundation, you can either blend your foundation in with a beauty sponge, or you can blend it in with, say, like a foundation brush. Back in the day, like way back in the day, like back when I was in high school, I always used foundation brushes. I don't like to anymore just because it like if you have to wash it every night or every 2 nights or something like that because it holds a lot of that foundation in the brush, and then soon it won't blend out like it's supposed to. So I go in with a beauty blender. I find that this is my absolute favorite way to apply foundation and also concealer. A really, really, really good blending sponge that I also like is the L'Oreal Pro Foundation Sponge. It's pink and it's amazing. So I love those 2 sponges. So another thing that I want to mention is if your foundation is a smidge light, like my foundation is pretty light today, you can go in with either more of a darker foundation if you have one, or you can just really bronze up the skin. I'm gonna end up bronzing up the skin because yeah, this one's a little light today. So I'm gonna end up applying a little bit of the Fenty one just to darken it a smidge. Oh, I missed you too, boo-boo. I just saw you. I woke up with you.
I know.
Did you
but
find?
It's gross outside, man.
Oh my god. I know. Okay, you guys. So I took about a pump of the Fenty and just went along the perimeter, just to kind of darken that. Just a smidge because it was a smidge light. It's really hot here in Illinois, and I don't go out in the sun too much, but I've been in the sun enough to have like a slight tan, and so I probably need to mix N90 with 100 again. Like I probably need to mix those 2 because this was my winter combo, and that ain't working too much anymore, you guys. So for concealer, you guys, so highlighting and contouring is the next step, but you do not have to do every single thing that I do. When I make these videos, I make them to instruct and also give you guys a guideline of what to do and kind of like what not to do. But there's no rules, so you can do whatever you want. You can wear your makeup however you want. But I know I have a lot more of mature women watching my channel, and highlighting and contouring isn't something that needs to be done every single day. Especially if you work all the time and you don't really need to look presentable, like look full glam. So when you highlight and contour, you can just apply just a smidge underneath of the eye because of discoloration, or just to make you look a little bit more brightened and awake. But I'm gonna go full coverage Kim K highlight and contour, but it's not something that needs to be done, if you get what I mean. So I'm just going to go down the bridge of the nose. Oh, and I'm using the Kim K, the KKW concealer in the shade number 12. This is my favorite concealer right now. Like, it's my favorite. I'm going to go down the bridge of the nose, and then over the forehead, chin, and then underneath of the eye. I do have a full how to highlight and coverage, like cream highlighting coverage. It's listed down below in the description box, so check that out if you want to see something more in-depth like that. I'm also going to hit the Cupid's bow because the Cupid's bow got to get hit, and then continue to highlight. So I'm applying quite a bit of concealer. I'm going pretty extreme, but like I mentioned, someone that doesn't need to look super glam every day can just do a swipe, and then blend that all out. I'm also going to blend that with the Beauty Blender again, and the purpose of highlighting is to bring features forward. So highlighting lightens and contour darkens. So you want your concealer to be at least one shade lighter than your skin tone if you don't want it to be too dramatic, and if you want it to be really dramatic, about 2 to 3 shades lighter. I usually go about 3 max to kind of like right in between. So my Urban Decay concealers are about 2 shades lighter than what I would normally wear. And then my KKW is about 3 shades lighter, and it's more of a banana-y color, which I like a lot more than the Urban Decay has more of like a orangey kind of tint. So I'm blending this out, and you really, really, really want to blend, you guys. That is the ultimate. That's how you're going to get the flawless face, is blending. And you want to pat with your Beauty Blender. If you watched me apply the foundation, you want to pat with the Beauty Blender, not swipe. Because if you're going to swipe, you're going to just remove the product, and it's going to be counterproductive. And we want to be productive. So I blend the chin first, then I do usually the Cupid's bow, and then the eyes, and then I'll do the nose last, so that way that has a little bit more time to settle into the skin. So that way it kind of keeps that nice narrow line. So the next thing is setting the concealer. You want to set the concealer relatively quickly, you guys, so that way it does not crease on you. But if it does crease on you, just grab your Beauty Blender again. I'm going to set that with the KKW setting powder. This is the loose setting powder in the shade number 3, so it's more of the banana-y shade. As I mentioned, I like that a little bit more. I've been reaching for this a lot more than my Sacha Buttercup, let me tell you guys that. And I've been setting my concealer with a brush. So this one's one of my favorite. This is the Strobe L307 by Stilazzi. And I've been doing this ever since I watched that Miss Fame, when I did the Miss Fame, following a Miss Fame tutorial, which is a drag queen. I've been doing this a lot more because I feel like it does give a more natural and flawless kind of set. So I really make sure I set everything. This also brightens, so it just makes my under eye look a lot more bright. And it's a little bit lighter of a banana shade, so it really highlights me. But the Sacha is still great, and I still use that sometimes, but I really reach for this Kim K one a lot more, you guys. Like, I don't know why, but I do. And it gives me a flawless coverage. And also with this, I'm patting. I pat under the eyes. I pat everywhere. to really highlight and brighten this. So now we brought light to the skin. The skin is looking really like, I don't want to say flat because it's highlighted, but I like to contour. So contouring is the next step, and I don't really do a really defined contour anymore. I more so do a more like overall bronze. I use the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette most of the time, majority of the time. If you see me contouring, I'm using this, and I use a powder brush, surprisingly, by the Pretty Bar, but this powder brush is sort of like tapered, so it's kind of tapered. It's not a big fluff, so I really like to go in with this one to contour. And where you contour is from the top of the ear towards the end of the eye. So I never go further than about here. You don't want to bring it too far in. I see a lot of girls bring it too far in, and that just looks really, 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 really bad. So you want to keep it relatively high. And then when you're blending, you want to blend upwards, not downwards. So you don't want to come down. You want to stay here, like side to side like this, and then blend up. So we're gonna do those side to side motions again, and then start to do those circular motions when you move the wrist in a circle as you go up the hairline. I also have a really, really, really large forehead. Now, forehead contouring is not necessary, but I have a large forehead. So having a large forehead, I have to really, really, really contour this mug and bring this in to create some shadow and the illusion of having like a small little forehead, even though I don't. And even though you can still tell that I have an extreme receding hairline, you know what I mean? So, yeah. You want to make sure that you contour your forehead if you have a larger forehead. If you have a small forehead, like one of those foreheads that are like barely there foreheads, don't contour. You can like run it over a little bit, but you don't really need to focus on contouring. Another thing that might help you guys is running it in a 3. So starting up here, 1, so 1, 2, which makes a 3. 1, 2, 3. But I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you like want a light bronze, because you don't want to muddy up down here. I rarely contour down here because I just don't like it. But if you like it, you can do what you want. Like I said, I'm just giving you guys a baseline of what to do. So now is the nose, and I have a full video on the nose contour, which will be down below as well. But I take a Sigma E39 Buff and Blend eyeshadow brush. It's a really stiff eyeshadow brush, and I just follow the side of where I applied that highlighter, and I just go down the side of my nose, and then underneath of the brow, towards the front of the brow, I go underneath. Right there. Boop, boop. And that also helps that concealer that's under there not to look like very harsh. And then lately what I've been doing is taking whatever highlighting powder that I use in my beauty blender and take a bit and just go along the side of my nostril just to clean that up. So that way we don't have too harsh of a contour nose, but it also kind of slims it down a little bit, cleans it up just in case you messed up or it's too wide. You don't want your contour to be too wide, you guys. If you're gonna contour your nose, please don't make the same mistakes that I made and have your contour all the way out here by your nostrils. It really, nose contour makes or breaks a nose. It can either widen it and make it look even more wide. Like I look back at old pictures and I'm like, wow, Lonyea, your nose is not that big, but the contour that I did on it made it look really, really, really large. And by just going down the side of the nostril and narrowing it, it just makes it appear a little bit smaller. Nose contour is kind of personal preference. Some people don't like to contour their nose because they love their nose and they don't want to look like they have a Caucasian nose, and this, that, and the third. I like to contour my nose because I like it. I think it's just an added kind of oomph to the look. It just makes my face, you know, it just makes my face look good. So next up is blush. I go in with the Black Radiance Toasted Almond Blush all the time because it is really pretty, and I'm using a Stilazzi S305. It's a dual fiber brush, and dual fiber brushes just kind of diffuses the blush a little bit more. I feel it helps blend it out, and this blush is very, 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 very kind of natural. I love this blush, and it's very inexpensive. You can find it at like, I don't know, like Target, CVS, Walgreens. It's really pretty. It's just like a nice kind of rosy tint. And then after applying blush, which blush is also optional because I know that a lot of black women don't like to wear blush, and that's okay. That is okay, but I feel like blush just kind of adds a little pop, you know? And after blush, I like to apply highlighter. There are so many highlighters. I have so many highlighters that I want to use. I'm gonna do a like top 5 dark skin highlighters, you know, collection type of thing. I think I've done something like that. I know I've done like my favorite top 5 highlighters, but I want to do one for like dark skin, like dark skin, especially since all of us brown girls are gonna be getting a little bit more chocolate this summer, you know, hashtag chocolate girls. So I want to do a video on that, but I'm gonna use this new highlighting palette that I just received. It's by Alexa Prosecco Cosmetics. It's called Brighten Me Baby, and there are 3 different shades. So there is what is this? Golden Ticket. There's Golden Ticket right here. It's Work It Girl and Bronze Goddess. I'm gonna use Bronze Goddess because it's a little bit more bronzy. Oh yeah, this is nice. And these feel like butter. I've been swatching these all weekend because I haven't been able to plan makeup because I had a wedding and then I didn't have my camera, so I wasn't able to film for you guys. So I've just been playing in makeup that I've been receiving. This is pretty. Okay, I didn't even tell you guys what to do. I just started doing it. So highlighter. Okay, you guys see me highlight all the time, and I know some of you guys love how I highlight, and I know some of you guys hate how I highlight. Highlighting is also optional. You can apply your highlighter wherever you want. So where I take it is right on the top of my cheekbone, and you can leave it just right there if you want. So just like right here if you want. If you want just like a nice subtle. So for my older women, when I go in and highlight their skin, I'll just apply like just a teensy wee little bit on their cheekbone. But I like to kind of spread it out a little bit, come on the top of my cheekbone a little bit, so that way when I look forward, I have kind of like a highlight, and then swoop back. I also take it right here over my brow. Most people take it on the arch of their brow, but I have a large forehead, so I bring it a little bit more front and center. And the brush that I'm using is a Morphe, like, I don't know what this brush is called. I got it out of the iCredible brush set, and it's just kind of like a small, like, highlighting brush is what I use it for. You can use a fan brush as well, but I'm going to take a little bit of Work It Girl, because it's a little bit more, it's a little lighter. One of my favorite highlighters is Mirame from Dose of Colors. It's from the Desi Katie collection, and that is so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. But I'm gonna take my dual fiber brush and just gonna blend. But the purpose of a highlight is just so that way when the sun or the lighting hits it, it adds a little bit of shine, just a nice little pop to the skin. And you can apply as much or as little. I also apply it to the Cupid's bow because I feel like it accentuates the Cupid's bow. It accentuates the lip as well, but optional, optional, optional. The last and final step of highlighting is the nose, and I go on the tip and also the bridge, just right there. like so. And if you're a little bit older, you don't have to do that. You don't have to highlight at all. Like I mentioned, you could just apply a little bit and you'll be like GTG. But I am full coverage, full glam, full everything. Pretty much call me a drag queen, okay? Okay. So now that we've highlighted, I'm going to dust this powder away. I kind of leave it on for probably was about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm not sure, like, off the top of my head how long I leave it on, but I leave it on for quite some time. And then the last and final step of a face is setting it. So you can set it for longevity, you can set it for oil control, you can set it for dewy, you can set it for whatever you want. So 3 of my favorites are the Dermablend Long Lasting Setting Spray, the Urban Decay De-Slick Setting Spray, and lately, even though it's summer, I've been loving the NYX Dewy Finish Spray. Oh my gosh. This stuff is amazing. And I have combo, so I'm dry right now. I'm dry all around here, but my nose area is oily. But baby, this Dewy Finish Spray, it gets on my face no matter what. So I'm just gonna spray. I bathe in that spray pretty much. Woo! Woo! Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do the lower lash line. Also, if you want to see this look, I will be posting it on Instagram either tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think I might post pictures today and post the video tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna do the lower lash line. I think I might smoke it out. And then, yeah, I think I need to smoke it out. I think I'm gonna smoke it out and then apply the lip, and then I will be back for final thoughts and everything like that. Alright, you guys, so I went ahead and applied lips. I used my NYX lip liner in Downtown Beauty and also the Desi Katie Dose of Colors More Creamer Please all-time favorite nude lipstick. It is so perfect. And then I just threw Honey I'm Home over the top as like a little gloss. But that completes my video. I would love for you guys to leave me any comments, questions, or concerns, anything like that down below. Also, make sure you hashtag flawless face, or you don't have to hashtag it. You can just like put it in your comments, hashtag or put flawless face in your comments in order to be entered into the giveaway. That's all you need to do. Also, since we had a little oopsie the last week, I will be picking the winter lawn. I'll be picking the winner on Wednesday because that's when we'll be finished. So tomorrow is the last video of the flawless face. I know some of you guys asked about eyelashes, but I have and how to do an eyelash, like how to pop on eyelash video. I will list down below as well. I need to remember like all the videos that I need to list, but it'll be down there if I remember, which I hope I do. But that is it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to hashtag flawless face. Bye, you guys. Mwah.